listening to the Not So Christian in Me show, starring Southern Girl Denise. Houston, Texas, get ready, get ready, get ready. Calvary Entertainment in association with Encore Theater and You Take One Productions present the hit gospel musical comedy called Shout Hallelujah, written by Harold J. Haynes, coming to the historical Deluxe Theater in Houston, Texas, August the 5th through the 8th. Tickets are on sale right now at CalvaryEntertainment.com. That's CalvaryEntertainment.com. Houston, the pandemic couldn't hold you down. Houston, social injustice couldn't hold you down. There's something that you should be thankful for and something you should be able to shout. Hallelujah. Shout. Hallelujah.
Hello, hello. You guys are tuned into the Not So Christian and Me show live. And today we have another great show. Today we have the pleasure of having Cliff Alexander, who is the producer of the hit gospel stage play Shout Hallelujah, in which you just saw. Without further ado, please help me welcome Cliff Alexander. Woo!
Hello, hello. I am doing good. I'm excited to be here with you, Southern Girl Denise. So thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for being our special guest. Now, I always tell our guests that we have a very interactive show. So just sit back, have fun, relax, and we're going to give God all the glory along the way.
All right. That works for me.
All right. So our first segment is called Two Truth and One Lie. You will tell me two truth and one lie, and I will have to figure out which one is a lie. And my listeners and viewers can play along as well.
Okay. All right. Great. Which one you want first? Just all three laid out?
You can't tell me. Yeah, just all three laid out, and then I will have to guess which one is the lie.
All right. Okay. So I've traveled to all of the countries on the continent of Africa. At the age of 8, I was baptized. And when I was in college, I did try some cannabis.
You tried what in college?
Cannabis.
Oh, all three of those can be true. I'm going to say you didn't get baptized at 8 years old, maybe a little later. Which one is the lie?
That would be a truth.
Oh, that was the truth. So which one is the lie?
The one that is a lie is traveling to all the countries on the continent of Africa.
Oh, see, I thought that was true because I know that you travel with the production company and stuff. So I was like, well, he probably have done that. Okay, well, that can be on your list to do. So you're gonna claim it on the Not So Christian and Me show. So that way we have it on record that you are gonna travel Africa to Africa.
Yes, I want to travel. That's on my bucket list. So yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Good. That's on my list too. I'm gonna have to add that on my list as well.
Yes. Absolutely.
Now our next segment is our blessing segment. I always tell my guests to share at least one blessing that's stood out the most to them that they would like to share. So what would that blessing be?
It's a couple, several that I could pick, but right now in this particular moment, is I have two sons. One is 7 and one is 10. Cliff the second and Luke. And the blessing is for me is that I have them and being able to have this time off in the summertime to really be with them and to really have them. We've been going through our own personal struggles over the last 2 years, and it's just a great thing. And each morning I wake up just saying, thank God that I'm blessed to have two wonderful boys. Thank God that He blessed me with them. That I have to directly be an influence on them, not just their dad, but a role model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. So are you guys going to have any more kids?
No. That's pretty much it.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
yes,
it, huh? You're done. You're done.
absolutely. They are no, they are into everything, so that keeps me busy.
I know that's right. I know, especially during the summer. I know you really been busy with them over the summer.
Absolutely, different camps.
Hmm.
You got aerospace camps, you got YMCA camps, you got musical theater camps, karate camps. So
Yeah.
just trying to keep them involved in different things. Yes.
Absolutely. And when it comes to blessings, all blessings come from a prayer. So if you guys are interested in submitting a prayer request, please click on the link below and we will be sure to answer your prayer request. All right, let's go ahead and get this interview started. So for those who don't know you, Cliff, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am from Houston, Texas. I grew up in Houston, Texas,
Okay.
the north end of town, in the Aldine
Mhm.
area. And
All right.
yes, I got into theater in the later stage of my high school life. I used to play basketball. That was the big thing back in the
Okay.
day. And I went on to get involved in theater in college. I went to Prairie View A&M University, part of the Charles
EV.
Stewart. Yes, it's just on the hill. Uh, and my home was Taylor Building, which is the theater building at Prairie View, and that's where I got my initial training. And then I transferred to the University of Houston main campus, and I finished off my undergrad there.
Okay.
So that's how I initially got involved in theater. But I grew up here.
Okay.
Yeah, I went abroad, and now I'm back home.
Okay. So you say you had moved and came back. Where did you move to?
I moved to Los Angeles, California. At the time, I had a
Okay.
previous partner in the early 2000s, and we toured shows. And then in the middle of the 2000s, I got married and we moved to Los Angeles, and I got more into the producing. That's where I got my
Okay.
directing and producing chops from there, and just being around some great producers, great writers in the film industry. And then a few years later, after having my chance to be there, came back
Hmm.
home, and then continued to now teach others how to do this, how to study your craft of acting,
Yeah.
directing, producing. And so that's what I've been doing since I've been back.
Okay. Why did you decide to come back to Houston?
Well, number one, to start our family. All of our family were here in Houston or
Okay.
Louisiana. And we
Mm.
were the only ones out there, even though we met some wonderful friends, that even to this day, that we are
Mhm.
very close. But when it came time having a family, we decided, hey, we need to be close to home. And I was in a good position at the time as well,
Okay.
kind of, do bi-coastal at the time.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. I used to live in Los Angeles too, and I went out there to major. Well, I majored in communication, so I went out there to pursue my communications degree, and so ended up coming back to Houston as well. So
All
I
right.
definitely understand the transition. You know, you growing your craft in Los Angeles, and then you want to bring it back to your hometown and give all that knowledge, to others from what you have experienced in LA. So how has that journey been coming back to your hometown and producing this phenomenal play that's coming to Houston soon? Shout hallelujah. How has that been?
Actually, I thought it was going to be kind of very arduous, but actually, it's been a good transition coming back. As you know, in LA, things kind of move a little bit quicker. But once I came back, I've
Yes.
taken that time in really talking to people and getting to know people. And so for me, the transition has been great. I've been able to also work as an educator for a number of years, teaching theater arts to
Oh,
students at
good.
every level, doing workshops for adults and college age students. So being back home allowed me different opportunities and to do it right here in my own backyard.
Absolutely. That's really good. That's really good that you were teaching theater. I'm a thespian myself. I'm an actress, and then I kind of like
Okay.
do stage plays here and there, produce stage
Okay.
plays. So I definitely understand where you're coming from in all aspects of your career. So I'm definitely excited to hear more about what you have in store here in Houston. Now, before we talk about Shout Hallelujah, were you working on any other projects before Shout Hallelujah?
Well, yes, actually, before the pandemic hit, one of the projects that a producing partner of mine and he's out of Atlanta, working on a production called Achievers, a television pilot before the pandemic. And that particular show, basically kind of like a MTV Cribs meet, say, the Discovery Channel, in which we take the lives of successful individuals. And yes, we showcase some of their external blessings, but at the same time, really get to the meat and potatoes of how they were able to be successful, overcome different things, and use their education. And that particular TV show is called Achievers. And that's something we were working on before pandemic happened. Yeah.
Did you guys get a chance to finish the project?
The project is finished. We do have a pilot video as well. That once this kind of concludes, as we continue on with Shout, we're going to be right back at it. We have Whoopi Goldberg, who is one of the producers of that particular project.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. I'm definitely gonna show that clip once I get it uploaded. I'm gonna definitely share that over the week on that project that you guys was working on, so we can definitely get you some support for that. And speaking of Shout Hallelujah, tell us, how did that all come about?
Actually, just sitting down at home, working like everybody else. About say 8 months ago, at home remotely, and I got to talking with different colleagues. It's like, theater. When are we going to get back to theater, live performances? At the time, I worked with Theater Under the Stars as the director of education, so we produced musical theaters there. And so I was just talking to them, and then the writer of this particular show, which is Harold J. Haynes, I got to talking to him because I thought I had seen all of his shows before. And I said, you know what? Shout Hallelujah at this particular time was probably something that Houston really could use right now with all this pent up, all the trials and struggles that we've been kind of having to navigate. That would probably be a show that I think people want to just come, have a good time, get a word, and bring the family and kind of matriculate and get back to live events. So that's kind of where it started down, just talking to colleagues. Yeah.
So how was the planning? Like, after you guys come up with the concept, how walk us through the planning of putting it all together, from the auditions, from getting the crew, and how did you do all of that? Tell us about that.
Well, what happened is after I thought about it and shopped around the idea for Shout Hallelujah, everybody thought, like, hey, yeah, that'd be a good idea. And then Harold Haynes, who wrote the show, I went to him and said, hey, would you give me permission to do your work? And he was like, well, absolutely. Because we've been knowing each other for over 30 years.
That's good.
Yes, and he has a theater, Encore Theater, that's been here for 30 years. And so once he signed on and gave me permission, then I attached the director to it. It was a longtime friend of mine and also PV graduate, Ezekiel Morgan, to direct it. Yeah, and he said, yeah, absolutely. And then pieces just started coming together. We've kind of always talked about doing different projects of what we would like to do. And then my musical director, I worked with several years before, Daryl Freeman, awesome musical director. And he's also an educator in the North. And then the technical part, I said, hey, we're going to need the best set designer, one of the top designers to put on this show. And so another friend of mine, colleague, Danielle Lindsay, he's also the technical director at Texas Southern University Theater Department. So, yes. So we put all this together, and then everybody said, okay, let's go. Then the actual practical part, booking the studio space for rehearsals, the auditions, going to get the breakdowns of the auditions to send out to everybody. We did a lot of Facebook, and we had a great turnout, and we have a powerful cast that we think Houston is really going to enjoy.
Is the cast from Houston?
The cast is from Houston, majority of them, but we do have the title role of Sister Mouth, which is going to be played by Latrina Rice. She's coming in out of New York. She's been out in New York off Broadway doing a lot of work. And so she's originally from here, but she's been in New York now going on over 10 years. So we're excited to have her a part of the cast and reprising her role as Sister Mouth. It's going to be a good time.
All right, all right. Tell us about the other cast members. What are they going to be bringing to the table? You know, not to give too much, but tell us a little bit more about the stage play so we can get amped up to go. You know, I want to go.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time too. I mean, it is this particular story. The reason why it's so good because everyone can identify with these characters. This story is about this small Baptist church in which everybody is trying their best to do the Lord's business, but they have conflict with each other. So as the name suggests, Sister Mouth, she is the elder of the church. She always has something to say.
Everybody knows somebody like that at the church.
Absolutely, in everybody's business. And so the plot of it is that her and her sister, Sister Melanie, and her other church member, Sister Vision, they're basically trying to usurp their control over Brother Choir Director, who runs the choir. And Brother Choir Director is Professor Jason Fletcher. He's a longtime actor here in Houston and an educator and an author as well. And he's playing Brother Choir Director. And it's just a good
I like the names.
Harold Hayes did a great job in writing this musical. It is a musical comedy.
Okay, good.
There will be some singing in it that will make you stomp your feet, clap your hands. The title song is "Shout Hallelujah" that he composed. He composed all the music for this particular show, and so the plot kind of thickens when everybody then focuses some of their negative attention on Pastor Goody. As the name suggests, Pastor Goody, he is an upright pastor trying to keep this church together, but then some of his members think that he's committing fraud. And I'm right there.
Yeah, I was ready to say, I think you're telling too much. That's juicy. That's some juicy information right there. So that makes you want to like go to see what happens to the church. You know, is he actually up for fraud? Is he actually doing some crooked stuff in the church? So it definitely gives you that, oh, you know, I want to go see it. Have you on the edge of your seat kind of production. And it seems like it's going to be kind of funny too. And I love funny plays.
Yes, it's a musical comedy. And of course, there are some truthful moments in the show. That was one of the things I really want is that I want to show that also has truth in it. But also just, you know, it's funny. Some situations are just funny, even though there's some serious going on. And we can all identify with that on some level and placing it in a church setting to where we have not been able to really get out, no matter if you go to a temple, no matter if you go to a synagogue. Over the last year and a half, it's been pretty tough to get out.
Yeah. We have a question from Minister Larry Scott. He said, how do you select your cast for the play? Do you audition?
Absolutely, we do. We actually had a couple of platforms. We had the breakdown services to where pretty much all actors who are registered, there's this one website where we put out casting notices. And then, of course, Facebook. And then, of course, word of mouth as well. And so we did put that information out. We allowed people to not only come in person, but also do video submissions as well. And then we just kind of gathered everybody. And then the director, Ezekiel Morgan, we call him Zeke, then he decides to see who fits the characters the best, call in, do even more interviews and callbacks with those actors to see who has the best chemistry. And we think we got some good chemistry going on with this particular show.
All right. So tell us, how can we come out to see Shout Hallelujah?
Okay. Well, first of all, it's going to be August the 5th through the 8th. August the 5th through the 8th. That's a Thursday through Sunday. Okay. That's going to be at the Historical Deluxe Theater, which is a place that we also wanted to and consciously wanted to put the show in right there in the Fifth Ward area.
Yeah.
And you can find out information at calvaryentertainment.com. That is the website that you can go to. It's very easy. Think about, Christ, think about Calvary Hill, and calvaryentertainment.com. Very simple. And we have tickets on sale there, as well as shouthallelujah.eventbrite.com. You can go there as well. And so we're asking Houston to, we know there's a lot of still skepticism in being out and being in the public. One of the things that we do want to encourage you to do, we are practicing safe protocols to come out, get a word, have fun, and fellowship with this particular show.
That's awesome, because I know that's going to be some questions that's going to come up about what do you guys have in place for safety. So that's good. So you guys heard that. You guys are going to be safe. So please come out and support. So what's next for Shout Hallelujah? Are we looking to see a movie soon or a book? Tell us what's next for that.
Well, the goal is immediately after this is to partner up with a national partner. So that way other communities across not only the state of Texas, such as Dallas and such as San Antonio, but also other places where we could spread this word about in other cities. So basically taking this to a national tour and partnering up with a national partner. That is the immediate thing. We do have some people that are viewing the show in that manner. So hopefully, that will happen. Other producers and promoters, no matter if it's regional theater, no matter if it's community theater, no matter if it's Broadway. Right now, everybody is still kind of figuring out how the venue situation is gonna pan out.
Yes, I'm definitely looking forward and going to the Deluxe Theater, because I'm from Fifth Ward and I never had a chance to go to the Deluxe Theater. So I'm definitely going to be in the building supporting you guys and supporting my neighborhood as well, because it's all about supporting each other. That's the only way that we're going to grow, until we support each other. So you definitely have all of our support at the Not So Christian to Me show, because we're going to be in that deep. We're going to be in that deep. So, absolutely. So Cliff, have you thought about directing some projects or even writing some projects in the near future?
Well, yes. Now, before I got into the producing side, I've directed several good number of shows around Houston, and especially on the secondary level. I've done shows such as Before His Home. I've directed Romeo and Juliet. I've directed Fences here locally.
Okay.
And so I've done some directing and writing. I've written a show right now that is in development as well, that we are pitching as well for a tour. It's called In My Mother's House. It's about a mother who struggles to live with lupus while trying to keep a family together, in the strength of God and prayer. This is loosely based on some personal events with my own mom, who struggled with lupus for over 35 years. And so,
oh, wow.
That I'm so proud of. And we're still working out some of the details with that particular show as well. But that is something that I've written and looking to get on stage as well.
All right. So do you act as well? You said on stage. Do you act
Not anymore.
yourself?
I started out
I
did. I started out as a performer in which I played several roles in some of the published works such as Before His Home, such as Miss Evers' Boys, here and in LA, when I was in LA as well. So I started out as an actor, and then I navigated to the directing and producing side, because I like collaboration. I like with different aspects and bringing a show together. And so that is my lane right now, and I leave the acting to the actors.
I know that's right. What advice could you give actors that's trying to, or producers that's trying to get to where you're at?
Well, what I would say is, depending upon where you are in your craft, always look to see what is actually better out there. Always finding ways to develop your craft. Being around like-minded people. It is a struggle because this is an art form, and sometimes that is not placed on it a lot. Is that it's art form. And also, there's some intangibles that there's a struggle to probably that you will have to kind of get if you don't know. And so some of the things I would say to them is, if it's your passion, go for it. If you're interested in producing and telling compelling stories, go for it. If you're a performer and you use your vessel to tell stories, and that is where you get your drive from, do it, because that is something that is being placed there by no one else but God. And so you have to carry out that mission, and don't let nobody stop you. Nobody stop you.
Absolutely. That's what I try to tell my kids. Keep going no matter what, because you're going to have obstacles, but you have to know how to get through those obstacles to get to the finish line. So, and I tell them everybody's not perfect, but you have to learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. So thank you for that great advice. For those of you guys who are just tuning in, we're talking to producer Cliff Alexander about the stage play that's coming to Houston called Shout Hallelujah, August 5th through the 8th at the Deluxe Theater, 3303 Lyons Avenue, Houston, Texas, 77020. If you guys are interested in coming out, please do so. You guys can go purchase your tickets on Eventbrite. It is at shouthallelujah.eventbrite.com. Also, you guys can go to their website, calvaryentertainment.com. Please support. We running out of time, but we have one more question just came through the feed. We want to get these questions answered before we let you go. And it comes from Minister Larry Scott again. And his question is, this is good. Why bring this particular play to Fifth Ward out of many theaters around Houston? Very great question.
That is an awesome.
Yeah, why did you guys choose Fifth Ward?
That's an awesome question. Well, one of the main reasons that I decided to do that is because there isn't, in my view, enough venues and enough material that caters to the African American experience. So what the Deluxe symbolizes for me and for the team, because we have two members from the team as well who grew up in Fifth Ward. And who worked in Fifth Ward, Harold J. Haynes, who's the writer, and Danielle Lindsay, who is our technical director. And I grew up just up the freeway from Fifth Ward. And so when we created Fifth Ward, the Deluxe Theater and the CDC, along with Texas Southern University and the city of Houston, when they brought this project together, it was like something that created and manifested something I've been thinking about a long time, is that yes, we do have a couple of prominent venues for African American experiences, but this venue right here really is significant because it's in a historical location. It is a historical venue, and if you did not know about Fifth Ward, a lot of our ancestors settled in Fifth Ward, and now we have this jewel of a venue. They're saying that, hey, bring the arts back to this area to cultivate the arts. So that way people, not only in Fifth Ward, but others can now come and experience that. And diversity is good for everybody. And so that was one thing, that we decided to do. We could have gone downtown to, a comparable venue, but it was like, well, no, we want this specifically for the city and specifically for what we're trying to do with this particular show.
Absolutely. And it's all about giving back, like I stated earlier. Absolutely. I'm glad that you guys did go to my neighborhood to put this production together. Minister Larry Scott has another question. He says, what impact do you expect or want Shout Hallelujah to leave with the audience? Very good question.
Thank you. Yeah, that is a great question. And even though this is a musical comedy, it is set in a church setting, but the stories, relationships that people have is that even though you may have, say, a brother, an uncle, a longtime friend that you may have fallen out with, at the end of the day, what's important is the relationships and maintaining those relationships. And that's what these characters in this particular play go through as they're trying to sort out their church business. But really, they're trying to sort out their life business. It just happens to be set in a church. And so it speaks to that. So when they leave Shout Hallelujah, they'll be thankful for where they are right now, even though it might not be perfect, even though things might not be lining up exactly right. But at the end of the day, there's something to be thankful for. There's something that we can all, when we wake up in the morning and say, thank you, God, shout hallelujah. So that's pretty much what you say.
Absolutely.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Yeah.
And the main thing is it's something that's relatable, something that we all can relate to. And when it's something that is relatable, it's easy for you to remember and you take heed to what you have learned from the play. And that's what it's all about. You want them to take something with them. And by us being, being accustomed to, in the neighborhood, going to, Christian churches, and, we can kind of attest to some of the things that's going to be shown in this play. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for sharing this play with us and bringing this to our lives, our homes. We really, really appreciate you. And do you have any final thoughts before we let you go?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me here today. I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to Kimberly James, our Director of Marketing and Outreach, for putting this together with you all. And once again, for the creative team, Daryl Freeman, Ezekiel Morgan, Harold J. Haynes, and Danielle Lindsay, to help bring all this together. And we also have an exciting cast in Houston. What we want to say to you is come out, enjoy, get a word, have fun, and be amongst family. And we hope to see you at the show.
All right. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all of our listeners, our viewers who tuned in today. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Miss Alicia Swanson. She says, beautiful show. Also, thank you, Miss Kimberly James. She said, great job. Thank you, guys. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you guys are interested in being a guest or a sponsor, please reach out to us on Instagram and Facebook at the Not So Christian to Me Show. Until next time, remember that no matter what you guys are going through, God will see you through. Stay blessed up. Peace. Bye. And here's Shout Hallelujah again.
Houston, Texas, get ready, get ready, get ready. Calvary Entertainment in association with Encore Theater and You Take One Productions present the hit gospel musical comedy called Shout Hallelujah, written by Harold J. Haynes. Coming to the historical Deluxe Theater in Houston, Texas, August the 5th through the 8th. Tickets are on sale right now at CalvaryEntertainment.com. That's CalvaryEntertainment.com. Houston, the pandemic couldn't hold you down. Houston, social injustice couldn't hold you down. There's something that you should be thankful for and something you should be able to shout. Hallelujah. Shout. Hallelujah.